Here is an introduction to Haruki Murakami's life in his own words. This time it is about his time in Kobe, up to high school. Haruki Murakami was born in Kyoto. His mother was a Japanese language teacher. She became a full-time housewife after giving birth to Haruki Murakami. His father is also a Japanese language teacher. Haruki Murakami has no brothers or sisters and is an only child. When he was 2 years old, his family moved to Kobe. What was Haruki Murakami like in elementary school? Haruki Murakami writes, "When I was in elementary school, I loved going to the library more than anything else. I also liked to play baseball, but unfortunately I wasn't that good on the field. After school, I often rode my bicycle to the city library. In my spare time, I would go there and read all sorts of juvenile books in the library." Haruki Murakami also learned to play the piano. "What I regret is that I stopped practicing the piano. I took piano lessons for quite a long time when I was a child, but before I entered junior high school, I got busy with a lot of things and stopped. If I had practiced harder, I would have been able to read complicated music more freely and easily, and my way of listening to music would have been very different from what it is now." He entered a public junior high school in his neighborhood. A scene from his junior high school days is written in Afternoon on Langerhans Island. "There is a river running between my house and school. It was not very deep, and the water was clean, and there was a quaint old stone bridge. When I stand in the middle of the bridge, leaning on the railing and looking towards the south, I can see the sea reflecting the glittering light." This is the bridge written in Afternoon on Langerhans Island. If you look to the south from this bridge, you can see this. In the past, there may not have been any other bridges in the immediate vicinity. I couldn't see the ocean very well. It seems that Haruki Murakami read a lot in junior high school. "I don't think there was anyone around me who read as many books as I did throughout junior high and high school. Naturally, I didn't have much time to study for school." He also wrote the following, "I have always had a troubling tendency to not take things given to me by others seriously. From elementary school to college, I did not perform well in school. I would not and could not do anything that I did not want to do or was not interested in." Haruki Murakami didn't study much, which led to a falling out with his father. "I think he wanted me to get top grades, and he wanted me to replace him in the life that he could not lead because of the war. But I was unable to fully meet his expectations. Thus, my father became chronically dissatisfied and I became chronically in pain." He entered Kobe High School. This high school appears as the setting for Norwegian Wood and Sputnik Sweetheart. Please see another video if you are interested. What was it like for Haruki Murakami in high school? At the time, it seemed to me that reading a lot of my favorite books, listening to a lot of my favorite music, going out and exercising, playing mahjong with my friends, or going on dates with my girlfriends were more important than clinging to my desk, doing the assigned tasks, and getting the best grades on exams. Haruki Murakami didn't study much for exams in high school either. He also said that he had always been uninterested in competing with others for rankings. He was a voracious reader even in high school. He says, "I don't think there is any student who borrowed and read as many books from the library of Kobe High School as I did." What kind of books did Haruki read? He writes that the authors he loved as a teenager were, for example, Dostoevsky, Kafka, and Balzac. It seems that he read more than just pure literature. When I was in high school, I was fascinated by hard-boiled mysteries. In Kobe, foreign sailors would sell off a lot of paperbacks to used bookstores. When I was in high school, I didn't have a lot of money to buy the books I wanted, but I could get a pile of used paperbacks for cheap. I learned English from those books. It was also around this time that he first listened to jazz. I was 15 years old when I first discovered jazz. In January of that year, Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers came to Kobe to perform. It was the first time I listened to jazz music properly, and I was struck by it like a lightning strike. And I thought, wow! I have never heard such amazing music in my life. From that moment on, I was completely hooked on jazz. It seems that Haruki Murakami's high school years were very fulfilling. Looking back on his high school years, he says to his high school readers as follows: "When I was a high school student, a little thing made me happy, and a little thing made me fall into the depths of misery. But high school is the time when reading a book, listening to music, or falling in love leaves the deepest impression on your heart. You should cherish it." Most of my educational experiences were formed in high school. Now let's take a look at the elementary school, junior high school, and high school that Haruki Murakami attended in this aerial video. How was it? In the next video, I will introduce his university life.